back then I was in my reality show. There was Rohan Preet, there was Ehsaas Channa, there was Amir. So yeah, I mean those are my childhood memories. Leaving a university and then you're coming to act, and it's not like you can predict how hit is it gonna be. Even if I've been like recently, I've been dealing with a lot in personal life, in professional life. I've been dealing with a lot, but I don't think I've ever put up anything on Instagram because it's a private thing.
बचपन से देखते आ रहे हैं, and then she took a short break from acting, and now she's back with another show on television. So hi Khushi,
Hi.
Welcome to Times of India TV.
Thank you.
Firstly, how has this been? Are you enjoying the new show, the new set?
Yeah, it's lovely. I mean, after Ashikana, after Disney happened, I think this is one of the most beautiful stories I could have got. Jubliee Talkies is all about Bollywood. Bollywood based hai. There's love, there's passion, there's romance, and our maker Shohrat sir, he's got a beautiful vision. I think there are one in a rare cases where you get to work in such kind of a show, which is giving you Om Shanti Om vibes. And you know, my character, the cast, the crew, everything is just so beautiful.
So coming to your journey, as you had earlier also mentioned that you had taken a break to focus on your education. Do you think that you really wanted to come back to this, or you were keen on going out on another field?
No, I was not keen on going out to another field. All I wanted was I wanted to complete my education. I was good at studies. So after I did my computer science engineering, I felt ki, you know, I mean, even my mom, dad, they've always been telling me that, you know, you should complete your education and then of course you can do anything. So I thought I'll do MSBA from UC Davis, and I gave 3 interviews for it. I cleared it and I got a waiver, and I also paid for it. But yeah, the reservation fees that you pay. So I paid for it, but Destiny had something else for me in mind. So मैंने defer कर दिया वहाँ पे, and I came here. And at that time also, basically my motive was that I have to complete my education. But obviously, of course, my passion and my first love has always been acting. So I came back to that. So it was like a 360-degree turn. You know, I started off as a child actor, did a lot of projects. Then I took a break because of my work, and then I started from square one from Disney. And it's been really beautiful so far. My fans have loved my shows, and I wasn't expecting कि इतना सारा प्यार मिलेगा. So it's very overwhelming.
So जैसे as you mentioned, you know, coming back to Ashikana, as you said, square one, जब बचपन की जो acting थी, how did you go about that? How did you bag shows back then? Tell me about that.
So one of my dad's friends, he came to my place, and at that time I was 4 years old, and he said कि मुझे hoarding के लिए I need talkative eyes, and I'm just looking out for people just in a casual space. Neither was I in media line, neither is anybody from my family in media line. So he just told my dad कि she's got, I was just playing around, and he said that she's got such expressive eyes, why don't you put her into acting, and we can shoot her for our hoarding as well. So my dad was very clueless कि we are not from this field. So the very next day they came for a photo shoot at my place out of nowhere, from Mahalakshmi to Kandivali. And my first photo shoot was at my home. And then after that, I was never camera conscious. I never had a fear of camera, is what my mom used to tell me. So when I auditioned for Ankahi, which was my very first project of my lifetime, when I was 4 years old, so I gave the audition, and Vikram sir was auditioning, and even then I didn't have any fear of camera. I was always very much fascinated. Even in my childhood, I was very fascinated with what's happening on TV. Used to do mimicry, used to dance and everything. So yeah, I mean, even at that time, he had told my mom that does she get some kind of dreams of incarnations or something?
Yeah.
I think she's built for this field. So yeah, then as a child actor, I did Nagin. I got very famous. Choti Nagin से I was very famous. I used to go to airports. I used to go to conferences, और वहाँ सब ना airport पे पकड़ लेते थे कि अरे आप तो वो हो ना, छोटी नागिन हो ना, and it was fun. And मैं कभी when I was acting, I was never tired. I never felt like I'm getting exhausted, and same is the case even now. But you know, as a child actor, I did a lot of reality shows and everything, and then later on, now when I returned to this field, so now I was doing it as a grown up, and when you do it as a grown up, you have everything on your shoulders. As a child artist, I think there's a little less pressure in that way. When you're grown up, the entire show is on your shoulders, and you know, you are the face of the show. And but I'm very passionate about it, and I'm so blessed to be a part of this.
So, as you say, you know, when we saw you in reality shows, how was that world? Was it different from what you were already doing as an artist? And what was that, you know, did you face any challenges while you shifted your focus from acting to reality?
I think reality shows were also fun for me, because firstly they were dance-based reality shows.
Yes.
Mainly. So I did Celebrity Kids Championship for Boogie Woogie. I anchored it as well, backstage anchoring, and then I did Chota Packet Bada Dhamaka, and those were all. So in that also there was a amalgamation of an actor and a singer. Right. So the actor would dance and the singer would sing, and you know, they were fun. They were fun. I loved dancing, and those reality shows were giving me even much more exposure. And I had got legendary judges in those shows, so my exposure was just too much.
Yeah.
At a very small age. And also sometimes ऐसा भी होता था that I used to balance reality shows with my shoot and my school. So yeah, that was there. So in that case, I used to carry my books to the shoot and study there, and you know. But I think dancing was always I loved dancing, and when I was part of those reality shows, it just gave me another platform to express myself. And back then, I was in my reality show. There was Rohan Preet, there was Ehsaas Channa, there was Amir. So yeah, I mean those are my childhood memories. I remember when I'd gone to Saregama as a chief guest for the finale. So I entered, and sab ho gaya. I did the appearance and everything. Then when I was coming out, at that time, at that very moment, I was doing Nagin actually, at that very phase. So I came out, and achanak se a lot of people rushed in, and my dad was with me at that time. So they rushed in ki choti Nagin. So my dad picked me up on his shoulder, and he was carrying me all the way, because matlab मैं इतनी छोटी थी कि matlab I would have been crushed. So then I went into the car, and I was waving like bye. So it was like a nice cute fan moment. But I loved reality shows. It gives you a break from you know, the kind of thing you're already doing.
Right. So now that you come back in the field, do you want to really go back to anchoring or something like that if you get a chance?
Yeah, of course, I'd love to anchor. I've been, even as a school kid, I used to anchor in every other event. Even in my engineering, I was into something or the other. I used to choreograph, I used to anchor. So yeah, I'd love to anchor, and it's a different thing. It widens your perspective. So yeah, I would love to anchor.
So when you bagged Ashikana after a long break, was there any hesitation कि यार अब फिर से acting करनी है, कुछ नया करना है?
Hesitation, हाँ थोड़ी सी, मतलब I was really nervous because I had taken a very big risk of leaving a university, and then you're coming to act, and it's not like you can predict how hit is it gonna be.
Correct.
But I had a gut feeling that of course it's Disney plus Hotstar, and it was Gul ma'am's vision, and everything about that show was very beautiful. But of course you are very nervous. Nobody can predict what's going to happen. So even for the first month, I was giving my final year engineering exams, and I was shooting together. So God knows how I managed, because it was a physical engineering exam. Just before that, COVID was there. But and that very month, they said that exams will be physically and lectures will be online. So I'd actually gone and given those exams. But yeah, I was a little nervous. I was very excited as well. But then later on, after we got our first review and we were at the top, after that there was no looking back.
So when it comes to casting, have you faced any challenges, as in, not getting a project, because of Instagram followers हो गया. अब तो मतलब it's become something that everyone asks you. How many followers do you have? Are you social media present? So have you faced any of those challenges by now?
See, honestly, even I would have faced, I wouldn't know. If somebody got casted or somebody was given a preference because of the social media followers, I wouldn't know. Maybe, you never know. I missed out on, even though I have a really high engagement on my Instagram, but I mean, there are numbers and there are fake numbers and everything, so you can't really help it. But I really feel this is this shouldn't be the criteria of casting somebody. I strongly feel, because I think acting as an art is very different from maintaining your social media handle through reels and through those kind of things. And if you're casting an actor, that should be on the basis of their skill and their talent, and rather than just judging a book by its cover. Even though I have a high engagement on Instagram, it has never been my motive to keep focusing on my Instagram ki kitne engagement, how many followers, how many this that. And I came on Instagram very late. I mean, when I was about to complete my engineering, I actually came on Instagram. So even while I was doing Dil Dhadakne Do, I had lots of pictures, but I was not there on Instagram, so I had nothing to post. And I've never been that kind of a social media geek ki I have to be there. I whatever I feel, I just post. But I've seen ki casting mein people start looking at your what's your insight and what's your this and that. But I still feel, I mean, most of the legendary actors that even when social media didn't exist, people like Shah Rukh Khan and Amitabh Bachchan and Vidya Balan were there for you, and none of them came from social media.
Correct.
So I really don't think that should be the basis.
So, as you rightly mentioned, जब अब देखते हैं कि हर एक एक्टर को ना they have to be constantly present on any of the platforms.
Yeah, true. Even I am under a lot of peer pressure that I have to be there. I have to promote my show there, and I have to be present on Instagram. I have to keep. Although I'm not getting a lot of time to be active, but I there is something running in my background that I have to be active. Yeah.
So, do you think that pressure takes down the ability of an artist to concentrate on what they are doing?
Yes, partly it really can, and because social media is something which you can't even ignore. As an actor, you can't ignore. If you're in some other profession, of course, it's not a very big thing for you to be on social media. But yeah, it's a little distracting a lot of times. And if you are emotionally attached to your Instagram handle in a personal way, maybe you're sharing something about your personal life, then of course it affects you a lot. And but honestly, what I try is to take the good things from Instagram. But even when I wake up in the morning and I see my stories, you cannot ignore.
Yeah.
You have to see it, and it's because it has everything. It has people writing about you, people writing about somebody else, people tagging you in somebody else's post, trying to indirectly tell you something, or maybe, of course, my Instagram has a lot of beautiful edits as well. So I acknowledge those edits and everything. But yeah, it makes you a little vulnerable. I think social media makes you a little vulnerable in a number of ways. I am not saying that. I mean, social media has just upscaled everything.
Right.
You can promote your show. You can show your talent. If you can dance, if you can sing, you can put it up. But everything has pros and cons. And I think as an actor, yes, there is a little bit of pressure when it comes to the involvement of social media.
Correct.
Even in acting and even in your personal or workspace, it does interfere a little.
And somewhere now, a lot of artists have chosen to venture out into, making vlogs.
Yeah.
Adding that daily element to their lives. Do you think that you would ever want to do that? You want to put yourself on that platform as well?
See, honestly, right now I don't have time, and I'm not really keen on diverting my time or adjusting my time in acting to just give them vlogs and to keep them posted. Of course, I want my fans to know what I'm doing from time to time, but मेरे पास बिल्कुल time नहीं रहता है. if in the future I have time in between my workspace, which right now I really don't have, I might make vlogs and everything, but I don't think I'm that person who will daily make a vlog and daily put up something, or you know, not right now as of what I know, because abhi I'm completely tied up and engrossed and focused on my acting, and I really don't like कि मुझे acting से distract करने वाली कोई चीज़ ना, I don't like distractions in that work, because then I feel I'm doing injustice to my character.
Correct.
So yeah.
So you know, एक actor की life अगर हम देखते हैं तो everybody wants to know everything about their personal lives. Y'all are completely under the scanner all the time.
Right.
So, but as an artist, how much do you think that what percentage of yourself should be visible and what percentage should stay with you?
I feel if I start letting my guards down, I mean, I'm more open in front of my close ones, and my social media is all about everybody. You know, like everybody is watching my Instagram, XYZ whom I don't even know, and most of it are those people who are strangers. I don't even know them. So I've been, even if I've been like recently, I've been dealing with a lot in personal life, in professional life. I've been dealing with a lot, but I don't think I've ever put up anything on Instagram because it's a private thing. I have put up things which I feel are worth putting, and which people love to, which people demand for. If for example anybody has asked me to post with somebody, of course I put it, but I haven't shared a lot on my social media in terms of private matter. And also because there's so much of positivity, but there's also so much of anxiety causing things that you're seeing on Instagram. There's so much of anxiety, and if it's related to something related to you, or somebody you worked with, so there's a lot of that. I haven't shared a lot, but I have shared the happy moments and things that will make others happy.
Correct.
You know,
so now you've come back. It's a different show altogether. What has changed for you in terms of an artist with all these years of experience?
In terms of an artist, I think so I've always tried to get into the skin of the character and to live the journey of the character, and to pick up the emotions, like you know, switch on, switch off. If for example, even if I cry in a scene, I cry very naturally. So I think everything has just I've polished everything even more. I've been doing the same thing in my childhood and in the same way, but it has all got polished in terms of delivering my dialogues, in terms of knowing how to make it, where to make it subtle, where to make it loud, and of course in serials and in shows, in some kind of shows, the character is a little more extrovert and a little louder. Some shows are having a little subtler, subtle character. So that ways, and I've always, I think I've really improved in making it look more natural. No matter what the script is, it will still look natural, and I think people should start relating to my character the moment I come on screen.
Correct.
So that is something, because when you start relating to a character, it's very easy to connect. And in most of my shows, I've also played the voice of all the women, saying about things that actually happen in real life and which people don't address. They take it as a very big taboo, even as as Shivangi in Jubliee Talkies, as Chikki in Ashikana, as Rukmini, everything. I've always had those roles where you're actually speaking up things which are right, you know. So I think that has altered me also as a person, for taking stand for yourself and for being out loud there. And most of my shows have also emphasized on equality, कि लड़का कर सकता है तो लड़की क्यों नहीं कर सकती, या something, and or something like male dominancy. So I think in those ways I've tried to make it look very real and something people can relate to. And I have been doing scenes which are like very different from each other, like in a day. Recently I was doing a scene in which I was supposed to have a comic timing. Then I have to do a scene where I'm breaking down on the road, so I have to cry. So all of that has become a little bit more polished for me. It has become more smooth.
So now, with every actor's life, when we see हमारे profession में या कहीं पे, if you're having a breakdown in your personal life, you can take your time off.
Yeah.
But when it comes to an artist, you
Yeah.
really can't. You
Yeah.
have to be there. Even if you are terrible or
Yeah.
broken from inside,
Yeah.
but if you're supposed to laugh on screen, you
Yeah.
have to laugh on
Absolutely.
screen.
Yeah.
So how breaking it is, because it really hampers your mental health.
Yeah.
Even if you say कि एक switch on switch off कर लिया, but it is somewhere pinching you constantly.
Yes, yes.
So it does affect your mental health.
Yes.
So what do? Do you take any steps to keep yourself in a better space when it comes to mental?
This is actually a very good question, because I don't know how many people know that what you are seeing is not actually what you're seeing. And I think I've tried to improve on this also, but it's a little tough, because the kind of face I have, I mean, people have told me that I'm very expressive. So if you see me on set and I am disturbed mentally, you will see it that I'm disturbed. I mean, action, after they say action, so I try to, by that time I've masked everything. By the time role action happens, everything is masked. But as an actor, I think you have to mask your feelings, and since I have just been through this,
Right.
a phase where I haven't shared this with people, and not the details of it, nothing at all, but like speaking about it in general, I've been through a phase, and where I was just recently, where I was really broken down. Every second day I was having a breakdown. Every second day I was disturbed. Maybe I was weeping at my home, or in my workplace, and I came on the camera and I have to make people laugh, and that is very tough, because to make people laugh you have to feel it from inside, and so it is tough, and for that I try to deviate myself from all of this by trying to listen to music, or maybe trying to read a book, or trying to see some nice positive videos or something, or maybe trying to talk to people regarding this. But but as an actor, I mean, like you said, in any other profession it doesn't matter, you can take a day off,
Right.
or you can have your own space and cry, and nobody's going to tell you anything.
Correct.
But when you're an actor, even if your life is destroyed, you on screen you have to look like everything is so perfect.
Correct.
So I think I've tried to improve on that, and I'm still trying to improve on that. But yeah, an actor's life is an actor's life.
So what do you prefer when it comes to mental peace? Do you take those special measures to put yourself onto a better space? Or जैसे अब तो we've seen so many such cases where a lot of artists have succumbed to the mental
Yeah,
health.
true.
And they did not speak up,
Yeah.
and it just reaches to another extent where you're losing the person, despite knowing that the person had so much of caliber.
Yeah.
So how do you go about it? You're also at such a certain age.
Yeah. I feel really bad about it, actually, honestly, when you see that a very talented person, just because they're suffering emotionally, they've succumbed to it, and I don't know how many people understand this, but actors are the most emotionally vulnerable species ever, because they are very emotionally vulnerable. They always want somebody to talk to, and I was just watching Akshay Khanna's interview, where he said that an actor is dependent on everybody for the performance, for everything. An actor depends on everybody, and very emotional. An actor is very emotional. So I think in that sense, of course, you have to. There was a point of time when just recently that I didn't know whom to talk to.
Right.
Whom to say about what you're going through, because you are not sure if they'll understand, and you're not sure if they'll actually help. But I think, but then eventually I did talk to people regarding that, and I think you should have somebody to talk to. I even sometimes I talk to if it's a very general thing, I talk to my mom and dad, my parents, or if I have, I don't really have very close friends or a very close friend circle, but I have a few people, one or two people I can share things with. But of course, you can't share everything with everybody.
That's right.
But still, I think a percentage of it can lighten up if you can just, you know, talk to somebody and share what you're going through, because even if you share things, you become a little the burden just lessens. Yeah, so I think that should be there. And as an actor, I think you should have 2-3 things that keep you distracted and diverted, is what I've learned so far, so that even if you're going through things, you're fine, you know. Yeah.
So any such hobby that you make sure that
dancing is a very frequent hobby of mine, that I dance a lot, and it also helps in fitness. I think yoga also helps a lot, but gymming and everything I can't do every day because I'm not getting time, and yeah, I think reading or watching movies is something that, and mainly listening to music is something that helps me deviate a little bit.
So if you were offered Jhalak, are we seeing you there next?
Yeah, of course. I mean, I would love to do Jhalak. If Jhalak team is listening to this, I'd love to do Jhalak, because like I told you, I love dancing, and I think Jhalak is a very nice platform to, you know, do that. Yeah.
So as we end our conversation here, what would you like to tell the fans?
Hi guys. First of all, I really love you all. Thank you so much for loving me and supporting me so much, and for treating me like a family. Thank you for loving Jubliee Talkies. Thank you for loving all the shows that I've done. Thank you for celebrating it like it's your own. And I've been seeing all those lovely fan edits, lovely messages, everything. Thank you so much for all the love, and keep shining, keep glowing, be happy, and yeah, lots of love.